There's a TV promo running at the moment that says, "The only thing that looking back does is stop you from moving forward." Well, I can't say that I agree with that sentiment. It all depends on what you are looking back on or what you're looking forward to doing. Do you have a bucket list? All the things you want to do and see before you kick the bucket? Are you still adding to it, or are you knocking completed items off the list? And what happens with those accomplished dreams? Do you have a bucket full of things done list? The people you met, places visited, baptisms, books read, good deeds, degrees completed, jobs, championships, and of course, loves. My to-do list gets shorter all the time. Only 2 or 3 places remain unvisited, and other than Queen Camilla, I've exhausted those I would go out of my way to meet. Spreading the gospel and getting 1 or more degrees and 1 last job completes my list. I suppose dying in my sleep in my own bed would be my final item, but someone else will have to check that one off the list. The joy of having been able to do so much over a lifetime has whittled my list down to almost nothing. But when I tried to make a list of items that are off the list, having done them, that became more challenging. I've been to many countries, read endless books, had a variety of jobs, and so much more. I learned to fly a plane, scuba dive, and be a server. Deliciously useless things and challenges I take pride in. So I decided to make a list of what I had done year by year. It certainly helps that I'm a compulsive collector of bric-a-brac. So old name tags tell of cities and years of conferences attended, and rocks collected at castle visits let me track down the country of the castle. One destroyed passport leaves me with a difficult decade to fill in the gaps, while a towel hanging on the wall recalls that 2007 was the year a bursary let me study at St. George's College in Jerusalem. But I know so many things that I undoubtedly consider triumphs in crossing them off my bucket list are missing. How sad, from being a goal to not even rating a footnote. Why is it that the things we remember the best were the things we planned for and looked ahead with the greatest anticipation for a very long time? Such accomplishments are a real highlight. It's fabulous to accomplish things that seemed impossible at one time and to wonder when they happen. Having quit high school at 16 with a grade 10, the odds of me getting to university were pretty slim. Fortunately, in those days, there was no internet to check up on what was written in our job applications, so my claim to grade 13 went unchallenged. But as I saw the framed degrees on the walls of the successful people I worked for, I began to contemplating having one to hang myself. Eventually it happened. The day that they handed me my honors BA in history and women's studies counts as one of the great milestones of my life, particularly since Harold had to hold me in place to prevent my bolting and fleeing from enrollment that first day at that once intimidating place that is university. The 3 degrees that followed don't count, never having made it onto my bucket list. They just were something that I knew some application and effort would give me. Marrying the perfect man, for me, was a lovely idea, but that only got checked off my list with the passage of years as we grew and melded together, and I finally knew that he was the one and only. Travel had never been a dream of mine until I started doing it for work and discovered places so different, so exciting. I had never dreamt of wanting to go anywhere, but discovering the joys, I added it to my bucket list when well into my 40s. But as each item was crossed off the list, my life felt more complete, particularly when I finally got to Israel, an item on my husband's list that he never gave enough priority to, and then one day he could no longer travel and could only have regrets at not getting there. The 1972 movie, Man of La Mancha, has a song that speaks of life and its goals and challenges. To dream the impossible dream. Bucket lists often include the impossible, but it is in dreaming that the impossible becomes possible. Someone dreamed of a round world once upon a time, to land on the moon, to defeat the plague, and it all started with a question. The song begins, to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. And it concludes, and the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. Faith is like that. Choosing to dare can turn the impossible into reality. Remember that that one man who inspired a handful of disciples to follow him, and then more and more until 2,000 years later, it's the largest religion in the world. I hope you've included on your list spreading and living your faith, because each of us come to faith through the efforts of others. My faith was nurtured by my grandmother's discipline and my parents shooing me off to church and Sunday school. And eventually, as my faith matured and life happened, my life took a turn, then another, and the list was amended, and Wycliffe College nurtured my dream of serving God as one of his ministers. Dreaming impossible dreams, making your bucket list and then turning them into reality is a great way to live and love your life. At their best, dreams are worth all the time and effort. And when not, there are lessons learned, and then it's time to launch into another great adventure. And so I pray, Heavenly Spirit, give me the courage and determination to pursue the best of my goals and dreams. Let me indulge myself at times and work hard at others, and let it all be to the glory of our God, who gave us so many talents and resources, so much to delight in, and so much to fight for. So may it be. Amen.